something. Oh, what's going on here? There we are. Hello, guys, and happy Madness Monday. Today was one day that it couldn't get any crazier, okay? I don't even know where to start with you guys. But anyway, we're going to start somewhere because I am heading home in traffic. I know I came on late. That's one of the reasons I told you guys. I don't know my times appropriately of when I'm gonna come on and how I'm gonna do it, and a little discombobulation over here. I'm still trying to figure out how to start packing. I have not started packing yet. I'll be leaving next week, guys. I have not bought majority of my stuff. Everything is just all over the place. My hair's not dead. Sister Di, what's going on? You're heading home? Okay, sis, you have safe travel back home. Thanks for stopping in, but on your way out, you make sure you give me that little like button. I'll appreciate it, okay? Hit the little like button, sis. You get home and you shower and rest up. But in the meantime, as you're getting ready to go home, oh, you're home already. Okay, well, you can have me on your background, while you're in the shower, I'm just saying, give me a little bit of watch time, okay? But yes, guys, today has been a crazy day for me. I started off, as always, joyful. I was laughing. It started off where, I was happiness comes in, and guys, let me tell you something. Then I got a little frustrated today, and then it ended off the day where I end up crying. Now, you see how crazy life is in one day, guys, all in one sitting. Okay, so my happy moment today was, I got a chance. I finally found um, one of my hairstylists. She came back and she said she's going to do my hair. She's going to do my daughter hair as well, because you all know I was freaking out and getting all over the place. Where who's going to do our hair? I was lazy to do my own hair. What's let alone my daughter's hair. So she came and she texted me. She said she was under the weather. Sometime when you don't hear from people, trust me, something is not, especially if you know people's character, you already know that, okay, I have not gotten a hold of them or they have not responded. Something's probably not right with them. Okay. So I messaged her probably a few weeks ago, and she seemed to be very nice and everything, but she never responded back until like probably 4 days ago. And I was like, not that I was in my feelings, because I know that she's a person with kind-hearted person. I was just discouraged and worried that she probably left island. So I was like, oh my gosh, she probably left island on me. Here I go with another one good person that left. But little did I know, guys, that she was under the weather. She was under the weather. She texted me 4 days ago. She said, I'm going to be available, but I have not responded to you. She apologized and everything because she was under the weather. There's a few of us out there that you already know their character, and then there's a few of y'all out there that really intentionally, you know who you are, that have some pieces in your worship that needs to be cleaned out. However, though, I just want to let you all know is that we're back on track with the hair. So I started off today really excited. I felt like I was in a positive space. Everything was going as a core. I hit my goal in the gig economy right on task. And then the doorbell rang, guys. Here comes the frustration part where, as I'm getting ready to go on vacation, I went to the bank. I did a few transactions, and when I got there, the transaction that I wanted was not in place. Okay, so I went back again, and I told him, I said, "Wait, I told you all to cut this thing, because when you're traveling, you want to make sure you have all your traveler's checks ready, because you don't want to be spending. I mean, I know that's an old thing, but where I'm going, guys, you want to make sure you have all your thing up front. All right, especially certain areas, because you can't trust certain space that you're going. And I'm like, okay, I want to have that where I can just go into a bank and I can, you know, cash it out and I can get what I need right on hand. So I order them from the 8th of May. I ordered. Went to the bank. I said I didn't want it to ship out because I know that I'm traveling and may not have to arrive on time. So I said I wanted to just come to the bank and pick it up because I'm thinking it's gonna be faster, right? 8th of May, I requested They say 7 to 10 business days. Nothing happened. I called on the phone. I requested it again. They told me 8 to 10 business days. That passed. I went back to the bank again. Nothing. Okay. This is my second time. On the third round, I said, I'm going to request for the third time. Now I'm already irritated. Okay. The person requested, but then they send it for 7 to 10 business days. So that means that I'm going to leave the island to go on vacation without what I requested. So now I'm upset. I'm frustrated today. I go get on the phone. I go park in front of the bank because now I didn't give you number one, number two, number three. On the fourth round, we gonna fight, okay? So I go in there, guys, and I'm frustrated. I get in front of the bank, and I'm on the phone. They had me waiting for 20 something minutes online. If you guys are just coming in, all 36 of y'all, go ahead and hit that like button. I'll appreciate it. So I'm on the phone with them. I'm waiting for 20 something minutes. By the time they get on, they're like, "Oh, you're not gonna get it until next weekend." By next Friday. I said, well, I'll be gone, so I don't need it then. I said, how can I get it like yesterday? So another guy came on. This is my fourth round of requesting. Let me tell you, never get weary in well doings. And sometimes that turbulence that you go through in life, there's a reason. Yes, you're being tested. But one of my sisters said the other day, she's like, Lord, right now I don't need no testing from you. I need you to just come true. Okay. Well, I needed them to come true. I don't need no testing at this point in time to test no patience from me because I was on zero. I had negative 1,000 patients at this moment in time. So on the fourth round, I go and I tell the guy, I said, well, it's a possible that I can request it and get it like yesterday. So he said to me, he said, I can request it for you and you can receive it within 24 to 48 hours if that would be okay for you. Hi, Sister Tanya. Welcome to Life of Paulette. I'm just going through the up, down, and all around that I've been through today on Sister Tanya calls my Monday the Madness Maniac Monday, I think she says it was. So that's what it is, a Maniac Monday, okay? Um, so I go there and I'm on the phone with them. He said, well, I can get it for you to 24 to 48 hours. Now, you could tell me if the same bank that I went to 4 times, because today was my fourth time, why they didn't do that scenario the first time? Why I had to go through all this thing? What was the learning lesson to this? Probably the patience again. I don't know. I already told the Lord I'm not ready for. I don't want no more patience. I already understand the whole process of patience. I don't need no more scenarios, please. Okay. So he sent me the the thing. He said in 24 to 48 hours I'm going to receive the mail and I can pick it up from the bank and they're going to call me and everything. Little did I know when I go into the bank, they told me, oh, well, for the meantime, just in case, we can send you a temporary, like, a digital stuff that you can use. And I said, well, why you didn't offer me that from the first time instead of making me get so frustrated coming in here for the fourth time? I said, do you all know that you all killing people's energy and time for craziness? And I did call them, not so much like an imbecile, I just told them that they were definitely you know I did. I was a little bit, I was just a little tad bit mean, just a little tad bit. I told them that they were incompetent. Okay, I did told them that. I said, you guys are incompetent. Okay, this is my fourth time for doing the same thing, and hopefully by tomorrow evening I receive what I've ordered 4 times since the 8th, of March. Okay, so I was upset, and in all the upsetness, I'm going to tell you how, when going through the motions, how it works, right? So happy, then I got sad because I was angry, frustrated. Yes, see, we get angry and frustrated. I told y'all I got my thesis and my worship that I'm working on too, okay? So y'all don't be judging me because Paulette got frustrated. I got frustrated. All right? And I did not send though, but I was frustrated. When the guy, my face, I had my little poker face on and he was apologizing. I'm so sorry. The next thing, and he's like, it's gonna be okay. I just said, right now, I don't want to do a lot of talking because I am on negative 1,000 frustration level right now. And he was like, I'm so sorry. Little did I know. When he emailed me, he said, well, see if you could download the digital copy. So I'm downloading the digital copy and my phone locked up on me. You see how the devil works? Trying to make me sin, but I didn't sin. I hold it steady. He came down and he said, well, I'm going to walk you outside because the internet in here probably sometime it messed up. So we get outside and I heard, Paulette, Paulette. And I'm looking around like, I didn't even know nobody around here knew me like that. But anyway, I'm looking around, and up comes this lady. This lady, I mean, she just, when I tell you, was a little stick. She lost a lot of weight. She said, this is me. And she called her name. You know, we're going to call her Sophia for happen's sakes. She said, this is Sophia. Remember me? And I said, I'm looking at her, right? And I'm thinking, is this my old babysitter? She had a daycare. She had life going good for her 10 years ago. She babysat my son. When I used to go to my business meetings, she was the one that was babysitting. I met her through another friend, mutual friend, that we used to go to the same heathen church together. Okay? And she's like, all like, Paulette, and she comes up to me and she hugged me from the side, and I'm like, look, you know when you just startle, and I'm looking at her like, okay. And I'm, if y'all know me, I'm very funny with my space. Okay, let me reach to you, don't come to me. Okay, and it has to be like mutual. And I'm looking at the lady, where when I realized who the lady was, tears came in my eyes. I literally, so sad. She had, and the guy, which was the bank guy that was attending me outside trying to get internet, he was like, oh yeah, she comes here ever so often. Like they know her from the bank. And a few years ago she had a little happenstance, and he was explaining to me, and she went on drugs and stuff. And when one and two came to my mind, and she's telling me, where's my boy at? Where is my boy at? That's my son. She's telling me where's Jaden, but I was confused because I was trying to figure out who the person was, because she was not who I knew she was way back then. Hello, Mrs. TNT. Hello, sister. Hi, Sister Mercy. Welcome into Life with Paula. I was just sharing with everybody, my little roller coaster day that I had, starting off happy, and then I had a little sad frustration and angry moment, and then I had a little sad moment. I was sharing up to now the story with the lady that I didn't know who she was. She was a totally different person. Her appearance, her face had looked like it looked like a dried out raisin. You know how they suck the life out of the raisin and just have it all squingy? She was just a little, just bone. And she came up to me and she hugged me from the side, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little skeptical. I was skeptical, yes, because I don't know you, and you gonna come up on me. And then she kissed me on the cheek, and I was like, ah, you know. And then the guy, he was like, yeah, I know her. I feel in my spirit, I felt like he knew her. She is either his mother, or she's a close friend to the family. That's how I felt. And then I had a moment of Christ like, and I turned around and I responded to her and I said, oh, hi. And she's like if she knew me, she knew who I was. I didn't know who she was. So she's telling me, where is my boy? Where is my boy? I can't wait to see him. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, I need to get your number on the way out. And I'm looking like, I don't know if I want to give you my number, I don't know if I want you even, and I forgive me, Lord, but I don't know what she's on. She just didn't look right physically. Mentally, she remembered, but I mean, I'm like, you knew me. This lady used to come to my house and babysit for me, and I don't trust anybody with my kids. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very funny, but I trusted her. She was, and my son at the time really loved her. She had her own daycare and everything, and I cried for her today. I felt so sad because 10 years ago, this lady was not who I saw today. Imagine the difference 10 years make in your life. Okay, today you're happy, everything is going so good, and you're like, oh my God, and the kids and the dog and the cats, and you're opening up your own business, and then something happened where you lose it all just for one mistake. She used to work with a church, and they used to feed the homeless. And this is a story the guy told me, because I lost track of Sophia. I told you I was going to call her Sophia. Um, 10 years ago, and he said she used to feed the homeless, and something happened, whatever the devil whispering anybody airs around her, and they introduce her to whatever she got on. And guys, let me tell you, she's a totally different person. So keep Sophia in prayers, because at this point in time, and her name is not Sophia, by the way, for those in the background, just air hustling. I just want you to know I choose to call her Sophia, because I just feel like I don't want to put her name out there. So Sophia, you know, the cartoon, we're gonna use her name for right now, okay? But then people change, things change, your environment's gonna change. The person remained the same because she remembered, but everything around her was just so different and heartbreaking. So the guy at the bank who was the teller that was taking care of me, he said, keep her in prayers. And he asked me, that's why I knew he's something close to her, because he said, how did you met her? And I said, and I had tears in my eyes. That's how I have empathy for people. I get very emotional. You know what I mean, Sister Tanya? There dust come up in the room real quick, because I can feel people, and I just felt her heart. She still was the same person, but to see how one little try of something can just disrupt your whole entire life. This lady that was so um, successful became on the street. She's on the street. The guy said she don't want to go home. She's living on the street, and in his eyes, the moment he looked like he wanted to tell me, "Can you help? Can you tell her to go back to church?" Like to encourage her, because he saw the connection that she had with me, which I haven't seen her in 10 years. Now, people, I get connections all the time because people feel that they can rely, or they feel comfortable, because I don't ever want nobody to feel uncomfortable around me. I treat everybody like they're important. So I know she felt embraced today. Even in the back of my head was like, "Ooh, you're hugging me from the sides. I don't know you like that." I'm not gonna lie, I did felt that way. However, though, I want you all to know that you never know how much people look up to you. So if you're feeling a certain way, even though in my head I felt like, I don't know if I want to, embrace you, but I had to do the Christ-like thing. You just gotta do it, and just gotta pray the Lord, whatever is on there. Rebuke. I know that we don't use the rebuke, but you know what I mean. Break the chain, Lord. Any germs, anything. But I embraced her, and the teller felt that we connected, and he asked me to ask her to go back to church because she don't want to go home. She left her family. I want to know where is the daughter that she had. She had a little girl the same age of my son, so she's probably 17 or 18 or maybe 16 right now. And I want to know where she's at. And I would have loved to sit and gather more information so that I could really thoroughly, intentionally pray for Robbie, because physically she looked more on the other side than she is on this side. And I don't want to sound mean or anything, but here we are, you know, just pray for her. And I just mentioned her name, but anyway, Sophia, just pray for Sophia the first, okay? Because she needs it, and it's that she can go back home to her family, because she's on the streets and she don't have to. She have a nice house. They had a daycare. She have grown kids, but she just got caught up in whatever drugs that's out there. Drugs is a serious thing. Drugs is a serious thing. Let me tell you, mental health and drugs, they go hand in hand. Because when you get into mental health, you got to get on some kind of drugs to either calm you down, to soothe you, to and that's the monitor drugs that they put you on, so you can get like not like a little sedated in your spirit to calm yourself down. But I'm talking about the ones that's hooked on the illegal ones too. That's a thing. And we take it slightly. We're like, oh, we see homeless. I'm driving home right now, and I'm seeing homeless, and I'm like, I pray for them all the time. I get to the point that because I pray for them on the way home or on the way from home. Like when I'm going out to work, I'll see somebody and I'll pray for them. And sometimes you get to know them without them knowing that you know them. And guess what? They know you too. They know when you're kind to them. My husband and I, every time, because he works in the area, so when he will go to pick up food and drop off food, they know him. They respect him, and he respect them back. And he said, these people, they're not crazy, as people think. They just picked up on a habit and they're stuck on it, and the family ran out of honey. You know how the bee run out of honey, that they don't have no more patience with them, and they just either let them go and put them on the street and they're gone, because the drugs was more than staying around family for them. And the families are probably older people that had kids when they were older, so their kids are to the age where the parents can't fight them no more. A few years ago, there was this kid that was hooked on drugs. He was homeless, and he would go back and forth. Mother, only child. Let me tell you, only child. And got hooked on drugs. This is the story that we heard after through the grapevines. He got hooked on drugs. And do you know, he will go to his mother's house and beat his mother for money. And she got to the point where she turned around and she said, you know, she was going to call the police. And before the police could get to her, he beat his mother to death. That's how serious it gets. So when they tell you to don't spare that rod at a young age, you better beat them, not to death though, but you better train them up right. Because when they get older and foolishness start taking over, you can't control them. He smashed his mother's head in because she didn't give him the money that she had accustomed to give him, and she will give him the money just for peace, so he don't break up her stuff, I guess. And that day so happened, it was around the holiday time frame, and she was probably coming off of the bus, and he caught her and asked her, and she said, no, I'm not giving it to you. And he smashed his mother head in with a rock. And guess where he's at? In jail. But at that moment in time, people don't know what the parents are going through at the moment in time either. You just judging. Stop judging. We're so quick to judge one another. Why judge one another when we could pray for them? And nobody, people was around that lady and watched her son beat her to death. And nobody said nothing because everybody was scared. The whole little neighborhood was scared. Another scenario happened where these two neighbors will fight with each other all the time. They hated each other, but they lived next to each other. And it was a graduation night. One was more party than the other. And I'm telling you all these scenarios because I'm talking about drugs and mental health is real. And don't take it slightly. Don't think that because that was your little 3-year-old baby back then and he loved his mommy and his daddy, he would never. Don't take it slightly, okay? Because it's real. The neighbors didn't like each other. Both of them crazy, okay? And one of them turned around and went and they will for years they just go at it. And the other one started to threaten the other neighbor. Just threaten them, threaten. You know, one thing about a person, when they start threatening you, you better watch out. Don't be threatening because the other person on the other side, you'll never know what's going to happen. So he comes in and he threatened. And he threatened and the other one thought he was talking crazy and he got into one what do you call those things that cut grass, those the one that you drive, tractor trailer, and ran into the guy. He had a party and ran into all people, killed about 5 people, just smash them up with the thing, just run all over and run through the house, and just craziness. And everybody was like, for years he kept telling them he was going to do that, he was going to do that. And one day it happened. One day it happened, and it was so sad. It was a sad story. It was very, very sad. Good night, sister Tanya. You have a great night, sis. Let me get into these chats. What's going on here? Um, let's see. Sister Mercy said, "You're looking good with that. You're looking good with your weight loss." Oh, thank you, sis. Oh, thank you. I lost another 4 pounds, guys. To God be the glory. To God be the glory up in here because I've come a long ways. Okay, I've come a long ways, and don't get me wrong, I'm still eating right. I'm still eating right, Auntie. I'm telling her to pass. Oh, you don't want to go? Okay. Um, She didn't want to go. Some people, well, why does she have her blinkers on? Like, if she want to get out, then she don't want to get out. Okay. Anyway. Well, anyway, I'm still eating. I have my little Popeye's chicken here. I'm going to go home and make me some nice pasta. And I'm going to have me my chicken. And my kids going to have a blast. That's what we're going to have. Okay. That's what we're eating tonight. So, am I eating right? I'm still eating food, but I'm just very, I don't overdo it. Okay. I don't overdo it. But thank you, Sister Mercy. You're noticing. Aw, I'm so happy. I'm going on vacation next week, guys. So you may or may not see me for a little bit, okay? But just know that I'll take you in my heart. And as soon as I get some Wi-Fi down there in Bermuda, I'm going to turn on so y'all can see, some views if I have the chance to do so. So I just want y'all to know that you're not going to see me for a month and a half. But when I do get a chance to Caribbean Islands, and then I'm going to go to my island, and when I get to my island, then I want to do a Central American tour over there too. So it's going to be a bunch of little vacation upon vacation. So if you don't see me, just know that I'm having fun. Okay, in the name of the Lord. All right, hallelujah, praise God. But I'll be back. All right. So sister, she says, showing that's awesome, Sister Paulette. Keep doing what you're doing, sis. Oh, thank you, Sister Mercy. I appreciate it. Sister Dawn is greeting. Sister Mercy say amen. Mrs. CNT say my beautiful sisters. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Sister Dawn says, okay, sis, Dawn is going to bed. She said, everyone, good night. Good night, Sister Dawn. 24 hours since I slept. Oh my gosh, go to bed. You go to bed, Sister Dawn, okay? And I will check on you tomorrow. And one thing, guys, make sure that you're checking up on people, okay? And when you check up on people, do it intentionally, okay? Do it intentionally. It don't have to be a call all the time. Send a text. Send a text, all right? Neither. You send your little text, and when somebody takes the time out for you, you take the time out for them too. All right? All righty, that's all. But I'll check on you tomorrow, Sister Dawn, and everyone else. You already know we check on each other around here. We do. We make sure everything is okay. We don't want another a happenstance happen like what happened to to our last sister, where we didn't see her at all. We found out, you know, we don't want that. Okay, so we need to check up on each other, make sure everybody's doing okay. And if I don't check up, then you check up on me too, because maybe I'm having one of those days where I just need a brother or a sister to say, hey, are you okay? Okay, I'm fine. Okay, okay. Good. Bye now. Okay, until another couple weeks, I'll check in again on you and see how you're doing. All right, but make sure you are checking in and you're following up with individuals. Sister Mercy say that is so true, Sister Paul, that they get hooked out. There's hard. It's hard for them and turn around that they are around so sad. Yes, no one is around. That's right. They get hooked on all that drugs and all that stuff, and nothing you could do. So if you have your loved ones, train them up right now when you can control them, because once they get out of hand, the streets is gonna call them, and the street ain't nowhere for nobody. Not even the homeless want to be homeless on the street. Even them have code. Okay. Even them had code. I had one homeless that I picked up in my car, and he was like, yeah, I sleep under the tree there. And I said, well, why you sleep under the tree? Ain't there a homeless shelter? He said, yeah, but he said, this tree, underneath this area and this tree, there are security guards. Because if I go out there in the streets, the homeless are going to be trying to fight me and rob me for my stuff. So I feel protected up in here. I was like, oh, so there's like a code. There's homeless code. There's prostitution code. Let me tell you, I learned a lot in the back of this lift, okay? I learned a lot in the back of the lift. I know all the little codes and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, okay. And one day I had the other people, the G's came in my car one day when he had me at the parking lot. I was at the parking lot waiting for him to go and scuffle with somebody to get his money, to collect money, because that person sold something for him. And he's telling me this story, and I turned my car around and said, listen, bro, if I see anything looking crazy, I'm driving off. And I was so dumb at the time. That was my first Lyft ride that I had, and I'm waiting at a parking lot like an idiot with these kids that's on the street talking about he going to collect his money, and he came back to the car and had this nurse to tell me the story. I was like, 1 star, unmatched. I don't want to see you again in my car. I've been having people all up in the car. Then I had another one that was an ex-con, and he's telling me that all he knew how to do was steal, and that's why he keep getting in jail. And he had a black backpack sitting in front of my car, and he told me drop him off at Walmart with a hoodie on, and he want me to drop him off at Walmart. And here I go. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a 1 star too, because guess what? You ain't gonna be stealing up a Walmart and then thinking that I'm the accomplice to drive you off in a lift. I'm sorry for you. You better protect your surroundings. I didn't zero him out real quick. Sister Mercy, okay, Sister Tanya. Hello, Brother John. How are you today? Hope all is well, brother. Thanks for coming in here. God bless you too. All right. Sister Tanya said 4 pounds. Yes, it's 4 pounds. I didn't even know I lost 4 pounds. But you know what's the good thing is? Remember I told you guys moving in silent and just put it in the work? Because you all knew from last year, I shared with you guys that I needed to make a change. I started off on the little, the little um, juicing and trying to make that change, but it just was, oh, it was so tough. And then all of a sudden, I just said, you know what, Paulette, I'm not eating in a plate no more. I'm going to eat in a bowl. So I started to eat smaller portion and tell myself while I'm eating that